Your therapist likes you. You can tell. You're prepared for sessions, you bring up the right things, you laugh in the right places. You make insightful connections that they can build on. You leave feeling like the hour was well spent, like you both worked hard. You are, by every visible measure, a wonderful client. And that, I'm going to argue today, might be one of the reasons your therapy isn't healing you.
In part 1 of this series, we talked about why traditional talk therapy often falls short for attachment wounds, how insight is not transformation, how you can spend years getting more articulate about your patterns without ever actually changing them. Today, we go one layer deeper. There is a specific dynamic that happens between anxiously attached clients and their therapists that almost no one talks about honestly. It's a dynamic your therapist may not be naming, even though it's happening in every session. And until you see it, your therapy will keep producing a very thoughtful, very self-aware version of you, doing the same things she has always done. By the end of this video, you'll see the pattern. You'll know how to test for it, and you'll know exactly what to say in your next session if you want the work to start moving. Let's start with what the pattern actually is. If you grew up needing to earn love by being good, by being articulate, by being insightful, by being easy to deal with, by reading the room and providing what the adults around you needed, you did not leave that skill at the therapy office door. You brought it inside with you. You couldn't help it. It is not a strategy, it is wiring. It is the shape your nervous system makes when it walks into a room with someone whose approval matters. So the very first thing that happens when you sit down across from your therapist is that at a level beneath your awareness, you scan them. You read their face. You read the energy. And then you become, without meaning to, without choosing to, the version of yourself that will be best received in this particular room with this particular person. You do this with everyone. That's the wound. The whole shape of your dysfunction is that you become small, attuned, agreeable in the presence of someone whose approval matters to you. Therapy is supposed to be the place where this exact pattern shows up, gets noticed, and gets worked with. But what happens, very often, is something else. The therapist enjoys working with you because you are a delight to work with. Articulate, prepared, responsive. They notice some of your patterns out there, in your relationships, in your history, but they do not, week after week, name the pattern that is happening in front of them, the pattern that is happening with them. Because if they did, you would have to stop being the good patient. And neither of you, on some unspoken level, is sure that what would happen next would be okay. This is what I want to call the good patient trap. And the trap is this: the very behavior that brought you into therapy is the behavior the therapy is rewarding. Let me say that one more time. The very behavior that brought you into therapy is the behavior the therapy is rewarding. Every session in which you perform competence, insight, and likability, and your therapist receives it warmly without reflecting back to you what you're doing, every session like that is a session in which your nervous system learns, again, the same thing it learned at 4 years old. That to be loved in a room, you have to be the right version of yourself. The whole architecture of healing depends on this getting interrupted, and in many therapies, it never does. Now I want to describe how this looks from the inside. You prep before sessions, maybe not formally, but mentally. You arrive with a kind of internal agenda. Here's what we'll cover. Here's the breakthrough I'm hoping for.
In the session, you read your therapist's face carefully. When they ask a question, you can tell whether your answer is landing. If it's not, you adjust. You go deeper, or you reframe, or you offer up the more vulnerable version of the thing. You are constantly, exquisitely monitoring whether you are doing this right. When you say something they like, when their face softens, when they nod, when they say, "That's such a great insight," there is a small, quiet pleasure in your chest. It feels organic. It feels like a connection. When you sense, even subtly, that you've disappointed them, there is a small, quiet collapse. You backtrack. You soften. You find your way back to the version of you that they were liking. You may have, occasionally, the disorienting experience of feeling that your therapy is going beautifully and your life has not actually changed. If any of this feels familiar, you are not doing therapy wrong. You are doing therapy exactly the way an anxiously attached person does therapy when no one in the room is willing to interrupt it. So why doesn't your therapist interrupt it? 2 honest answers. First, some therapists are simply not trained to. They are trained to work with content, to help you process what happened, to teach you skills, to assign you exercises. The relational layer in their model is something to keep stable so the content work can happen. They are not looking at it as the actual site of the work. Second, and this one is harder, therapists have attachment styles too. An avoidant therapist may not be able to tolerate the intensity that would come up if they actually disrupted the smooth surface of your sessions. A therapist with their own people-pleasing wiring may on some level enjoy your good patient performance because it conforms their competence. None of this is malicious. Most of it is unconscious. But it is happening, and it is part of why your therapy is not moving. What this means is that the responsibility for breaking the pattern often falls to you. I know that's not fair. You came in to be helped, but this is the situation. So let's talk about what you can do. The first thing is the simplest and the hardest. You can name what's happening. In a session, when you feel yourself doing the thing, when you feel yourself shaping your story to land well, when you feel yourself softening because their face changed, you can stop, take a breath, and say something like this. "I just noticed I'm doing the thing in here that I do everywhere else. I'm performing this for you. I'm trying to be a good client. Can we talk about that?" This sentence is a depth charge. It is one of the most therapeutically useful sentences an anxiously attached person can say in a therapy room. It does the work. It interrupts the pattern. It invites the relationship to become real. Pay attention to what happens next. Pay attention very carefully. A therapist who is equipped for this work will lean toward that sentence. They will say something like, "Yes, I have been noticing this too. Can we look at it together?" They will be warm, but they will not let you off the hook. A therapist who is not equipped for this work will, in some way, smooth it over. They will reassure you that you are not performing, that you are doing wonderful work, that you don't need to worry about that. They will, sometimes very kindly, return you to the comfort of being the good patient. They will think they are being supportive, but what is actually happening is that the relational opening you just created has been closed. If your therapist closes that opening, gently, lovingly, but reliably, that is significant data. It is not a reason to fire them tomorrow. It is a reason to think honestly about whether this relationship has the capacity for for the work you actually need. The second thing you can do is allow yourself to be, in measured doses, harder to work with. You can express irritation when you feel it. You can disagree with an interpretation. You can say, "That didn't land," when something they said didn't land. You can let an emotion come up that isn't pretty. Anger, neediness, ugly feelings about your own family, without immediately interpreting it for them. You can leave silences without filling them. You can say, "I'm disappointed in you," if you are. You can say, "I don't think this is working," if you don't. What you are practicing when you do these things is being a person who is loved while not performing. It is the exact medicine your wound needs. If they can stay with you through these moments, if they can let you be irritable, contradictory, messy, and they remain warm and present, something will start to move in your nervous system that years of insight work could not move. You will be having, possibly for the first time in your life, the experience of being met without performing. That experience, repeated, is the work. If they cannot, if every time you stop being the good patient, the relationship subtly contracts, or they leave you feeling like you did the session wrong, it might mean that the therapist you have grown attached to is not the therapist who can take you the rest of the way. Sometimes a therapist is exactly right for the first stage of your healing and is not the person to walk you through the second. You are allowed to grieve that. You are also allowed to act on it. I want to leave you with something I hope lands. You are not betraying yourself by being the good patient. You are doing what you learned to do to survive. The performance kept you safe in a childhood where the unperformed version of you was not reliably welcome. The same skill that is now in the way of your healing is the skill that got you here, alive, in a position to even sit in a therapist's office in the first place. The work is not to stop being who you are. The work is to slowly, in safe places, with the right witnesses, find out who you are when you are not earning anything. That person is real. She has just not yet had the experience of being received. And there's a version of therapy, and I'll walk you through what it actually looks like in part 3, where the goal of the entire endeavor is to give her exactly that experience. Not as theory, as lived, embodied, felt reality. That kind of therapy is rare. It is not impossible. And recognizing what you actually need is the first step toward finding it.
If this video named something you've been quietly carrying, leave a comment with the word "seen." That's how I'll know to keep making this series. And subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Take care of yourself this week. Be patient with the parts of you that haven't healed yet. They've been waiting a long time for the right kind of help. And help is real. I'll see you in the next one.